Hey everyone, Mr. Aarons again. Today I have a really exciting lesson that's going to build off what we learned yesterday. If you remember, we learned about reflections yesterday. Today we're going to be working on lines of symmetry. So we got a few things about lines of symmetry. A lot of it's going to seem like a refresher and it's going to seem nice and easy to you, which it should. And I'm excited for that. So, lines of symmetry. What a line of symmetry means is that we can take a shape and cut it in half somewhere. We can draw a line through it somewhere and it will look the exact same on both sides, much like our reflections. So let's start with my triangle here. So I got a triangle here. And there's somewhere where I can cut this in half and it will look the same on both sides. I'll show you right here. This side looks the same as this side. That is a line of symmetry. Let's do it with a kite. Here's my kite. If I were to make a line right here, does it look the exact same on both sides? No, it doesn't. This triangle is way smaller than this triangle. So this is not a line of symmetry. But let's redraw my kite here. There is somewhere where I can draw a line of symmetry. And what I'm going to do it is right here. Remember our reflections, looks the same on both sides. Does it look like two congruent shapes on each side? It does to me. That is a line of symmetry. This one wouldn't be though. Sometimes objects will have more than one line of symmetry, like a circle. Well, that is a bad circle. I'm going to redraw that. There we go. A circle. I can cut right here. Looks the same on both sides. I can cut right here. Looks the same on both sides. I can cut right here. Looks the same on both sides. I can cut anywhere on this circle and it'll look the same on both sides. There's some objects that are going to have more than one line of symmetry. Here's my square. Forget about that weird little extra line I drew there. Gotta work on my drawing skills. I'll tell you what, there are many lines of symmetry. Let's see if we can count them all here. If I cut in half right here, same on both sides. There's one. I can cut in half right here, same on both sides. There's two. I can cut right in half here, same on both sides. There's three. And I can cut right in half there, same on both sides. There's four. Some objects will have more than one line of symmetry. What I'm going to challenge you to do today is write out your name in all capital letters. It's something you're going to have to do on your own. I'm just going to write out my first name in all capital letters here. And while you're writing that, I want you to think about which of the letters in your names have lines of symmetry. I'm going to start with my E here. I know I can't cut it in half right here because this side wouldn't look the same as this side. But I do see a spot right here that I can cut in half. There's my line of symmetry. It looks the same on top and bottom. My L, this is not going to have a line of symmetry. There's nothing I can do here. I can't cut it in half right here because this side will have a line and this side won't. I can't cut it, my L in half. My I, let's look at my I. There's two spots I can do line of symmetry. My I is a little wacky though. I could cut it in half right here. It's going to look the same on the top, same on the bottom. And I could cut it in half right here. It's going to look the same on each side. My O is the same way. I can cut it this way, and I can cut it this way. And finally, my T, I can cut right down the middle. I can't cut it this way because there's a top part there, but not one there. It has to look the same on each side. Lines of symmetry, same on each side. Let's look at some real-life examples I got here. First one I got for us is this tennis ball. I'm going to write on my tennis ball. I'm going to try to make a line of symmetry right here. Now, this is not a line of symmetry. Right here it says pro-pen on it. But on my one side here, it just says N. On my other side here, it says prop. These aren't the same on each side. In order for these to be symmetrical, it would have to look something like... Well, I don't know how well I can redraw this. This is probably a bad idea for me to try. Something like that. You have to say prop on each side, or you have to say NNE on each side. They're going to be a reflection of each other, just like we talked about yesterday. But what I can do is I can flip this over. Now I can make a line of symmetry. Now that the writing isn't there, I can make a line of symmetry right here Same on both sides. Or I can cut it this way. Got 2 lines of symmetry right there. Same on top, same on bottom. I got one last example for you. I think you're going to like this one. Let's see if you can see it here. It's on my computer. I got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Now, one of these is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson that I cut and made him symmetrical. One of them is not. If you notice this picture right here, let's take a look at that one. If I were to draw a line right down the middle, his shirt's a little off-centered. His face isn't quite symmetrical as much as you might think it is. But this picture right here, I cut and made it the exact same on each side. This one is symmetrical. This one is not quite symmetrical. Notice the shirt. He's got 2 little Adam's apples. His face looks a little different. That's because he looks the exact same on each side. Same on each side. Same on each side. Lines of symmetry. Try it at home.